Welcome today to a great walkthrough video on an amazing new listing that we have. This is a Bali 4.8 3-cabin owner's version. Every space I'm going to show you today has something special to offer. She has a lithium battery bank, solar, Watermaker, code 0. She's ready to go. I can't wait to show her to you. My name is Peter Obetz with Catamaran Central, and let's take a look. All right, I'd like to begin today on the foredeck, and one of the first things that you'll notice on this Bali 4.8 is that we are on a solid foredeck, not a trampoline like you're going to find in most other catamarans. Looking forward to their sail plan, we have a nice jib on a roller furler, also a code 0, which is on a bowsprit. All of these lines lead aft. This boat has a in-boom furling system, so there are no lazy jacks, makes it for a much easier sail handling experience. And this jib is also on a self-tacking mechanism, so this boat could be single-handed or short-handed sailed quite easily. Here on the foredeck, underneath one of these big pads, on the starboard side here, you have access, very easy, to the anchor, windlass, and bridle. There's also a remote anchor deployment panel with chain counter at the helm station, in addition to this remote, so you can do it either place. Under both the starboard and the port side, there are storage lockers that are voluminous. You can store all your water toys, stand-up paddle boards, scuba tanks, etc. On this foredeck, one of the things that you'll notice is, again, there's no trampoline, but there's this huge sun deck and sun pad. And not only do you have plenty of room for sunbathing, relaxing, etc., but you can also step down into this cockpit, which is a very nice place to have lunch, a sundowner, and just enjoy the day. Inside this opening foredeck locker, you'll see the Westerbeek generator that is enclosed in a sound shield. So I'll come back to this in a minute. You can obviously access this foredeck through the opening waterproof door from the salon, but for now, we're going to go back along the starboard side weather deck. In keeping with one of the trends that's happening right now in catamaran world, the addition of a flybridge. This boat has a very large flybridge, plenty of seating up here for all of your friends and family. This particular boat, not only does it have a hardtop, but it also has a full enclosure to keep the rain out, or on those chilly nights where you might be cruising up north. But also in the back, there's more sun pad and a ladder to access the boom. Here we are at the helm. As the captain, this is where you're going to be spending your time. There's a Raymarine 12-inch plotter, your Yanmar engine controls, Fusion stereo control. This boat is fitted with a bow thruster and then the quick chain counter to deploy and retrieve your anchor, as well as your autopilot control and a compass. Leaving the flybridge now, coming downstairs, you'll notice nice, sturdy stainless steel handrails, big wide steps that are covered in teak, and easy access back down to the cockpit. All right, now coming into what is one of the hallmark design features of this Bali 4.8 is this enormous salon/cockpit area. And I say salon/cockpit area because you'll notice now that this enormous door has been pivoted up, making this into open space. So here on the transom, you'll see not only this large settee across the back of the boat, but directly behind it is the davit system. In this case, strong Dyneema, powerful winch to easily lower this into the water. This happens to be a Gala, and you'll notice this has an Evinrude 40-horse outboard with a center console. So from the stern, I'm crossing over to the starboard side down to the sugar scoops, presently passing over the engine space compartment. But this is a very nice, wide steps, easy access from your dinghy or from a dock if you happen to be pulled in stern too. Access to the dinghy, propane locker here, hot and cold shower on this side. These are the mechanical spaces. This one's on starboard. This houses the 57 horsepower, naturally aspirated Yanmar 4JH line, a very reliable workhorse for this boat. Moves it along plenty well. Also within this particular space on each side are water heaters, and on the port side is the Watermaker. So stepping now from the rear transom of the boat into, again, what I refer to as the salon and the cockpit, because it can be either. Presently, we have the door in its up position, seating for 12 over here, large L-shaped settee over on the starboard side, another settee on port. One of the adjectives that you could use for the Bali is huge. This salon is huge. And case in point, look at this refrigerator. This is huge. This is something that you would expect to see in an expensive home or a condo. When my wife and I moved aboard full-time 15 years ago, one of the things that we had to adjust to was the lack of refrigeration and freezer space. Bali has cracked that code, and they're bringing you a full-size, side-by-side fridge freezer, built-in ice maker, water dispenser. One of the nice things that you'll notice about this particular boat is that the galley is amidships. So the cook is part of the action. No one is squirreled away downstairs, no one's tucked up front forward, but instead you're right here. You have a 4-burner gas range, a complimentary oven below it. In addition to the really lovely Bali galley that they have made, these particular owners have opted to have a custom-made cabinet that houses a Breville combi wave. And I can tell you that my wife and I just got one of these on our Leopard, and it's a game changer. It combines an air fryer, a microwave, and a convection oven all in one. We have now reduced the footprint instead of 3 devices to 1 on our boat. This has got to be one of the largest galleys in its class. Not only do you have plenty of work prep space in addition to the range oven that we talked about, you have a nice stainless steel double sink, again with a drying rack here for your dishes. And in this instance, they also have an additional butcher block table for an extra cutting surface and work surface. So here at this large forward-facing nav station, not only do you have the breakers for many of the boat systems over here, you have a fusion radio, a VHF radio, an additional chart plotter that is mirrored to the one at the helm station, wind indicator tri-data for boat systems, a Schreiber system that monitors tankage, battery, state of charge, etc., and a remote control for the autopilot. And directly to the side here of the nav station is an ice maker. One of the things that I think about in a catamaran is not only does it look good at the dock, but how is this boat going to be to live on and maintain? And one thing I'd like to point out is this large opening door that gives you excellent access to the navigation wiring, so it's upgradable and maintainable with easy access. So now that we've seen most of the rest of the boat, let's take a look on the starboard side that has 2 cabins and 2 heads. We're going to begin forward with the guest suite, which has an island berth, a separate shower stall, a separate water closet that houses the toilet and sink. This berth is turned athwartship facing the sea. It has plenty of light and ventilation and a really nice space. And then going to the aft of the boat, or stern, is the VIP. And this VIP rivals a master on most other boats in this class. Again, it has a queen-size island berth that's turned athwartship. It has large windows that provide light and ventilation. It has a separate stall shower room and a separate water closet that houses a toilet and a sink. In addition to this room being accessed from the middle portion of the boat down from the galley, it has its own exterior exit into the cockpit, a large gas-strutted hatch that allows not only ventilation, but also privacy and access to and from that stateroom. So now we're going to go over to the port side and check out this particular hole, which is dedicated entirely to the comfort and relaxation for the owners. This particular side houses not only a full queen walk-around island berth, which is turned athwartship, facing the sea, providing light and ventilation. And it also has the same access out onto the cockpit directly, should you want to do so. Moving forward then is the water closet that has the toilet and a sink, and then forward yet of that is the large head/bathroom, which has 2 sinks, lots of storage, a washer and dryer that's beautifully enclosed inside custom cabinetry. This is a master that rivals boats much, much larger than this. Well, thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with me today. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the tour of this great 2021 Bali 4.8. I hope you understand my excitement after now seeing it yourself, but really the only way for you to know is to give me a call or an email and come see her in person in Fort Lauderdale. She's ready to see and ready to be yours.